We've got Amazon's numbers right now, so let me bring them right to you. And I want to actually jump to the forecast here. The company's second quarter net sales forecast at $144 to $149 billion. That's slightly short of the $150.2 billion that was estimated by analysts. So the stock was bouncing around in the after hours initially. We'll see where it lands, but right now it is higher. Let's talk about the first quarter here. Our earnings per share at 98 cents. That looks to be 15 cents above what analysts had been anticipating here. Net sales of $143.3 billion, above the $142.6 billion that was estimated by analysts. And then running through some of the individual lines of business, AWS, Amazon Web Services net sales, excluding the effects of currency, up 17%. That is better than had been estimated. Net sales for AWS at $25.04 billion. So overall, it looks like last quarter was better than estimated on a number of different metrics here. The company also pointing out that the growth rate for AWS is now at $100 billion annual revenue run rate, as AWS has been pretty dominant in cloud here. Also seeing now a forecast for second quarter operating income, the midpoint of which is $12 billion, which is a little bit shy of analyst estimates. So that's what I'm seeing so far here. Going to keep looking through the statement, et cetera. What stands out to you, Josh?
Yeah, a couple of things. One is that Q1 operating margins, easy beat, 10.7%, and the street was closer to 7.6%. There, and also you're right to call it AWS, the cloud computing business. That is this company's profit engine. That's why we make a beeline for it. XFX 17%. Street was closer to 14.5%. Maybe not totally surprising, Julie, because we heard from the other hyperscalers, the other cloud giants like Microsoft, like Google, and they turned in very strong growth as well. But that's giving investors a lot of confidence here, and you can see the pop, at least initially, in the after hours.
Yeah, most definitely here. And, it's interesting to see the stock doing as well as it's doing, because in other situations where we have had the guidance disappoint, the stock has been punished. Our own Alexander Canals here with us on set here. And I know you're looking at these numbers closely, especially what's happening with Prime Video, for example, since that's part of your streaming purview. But, what stands out to you from the numbers thus far?
I definitely agree with Josh that AWS, this was a focus that a lot of analysts were looking at, and they said that in order for this stock to accelerate, AWS would have to see material growth, and it looks like that happened. I am a bit surprised that we didn't see any type of dividend or stock buyback. That seems to be the story among all of these tech giants. We saw that from Meta last quarter. Google recently did its own dividend and buyback. But, this is really the AI story. And I think on the earnings call, if there's any type of caution among AI, that could potentially drag down the stock. But Amazon is one of those companies that has been doing well. I agree, Julie. I am a bit surprised that because the guidance came in a bit short of estimates, that's not having more of an impact on the stock. But we'll see how we continue through after hours.
Yes, we will. And just looking in the statement now and some of the commentary that we're getting from CEO Andy Jassy here, who points out that it's a good start to the year. He's the one who pointed out the $100 billion annual revenue run rate for AWS for specifically, talked about advertising efforts continuing to benefit from the growth of their stores and Prime Video business, but he points out it's early days for some of those businesses. I was looking for some more sort of specific numbers around advertising, et cetera. Not necessarily seeing all of that yet. So it's interesting. There's a lot of color on the various businesses, but not as much in terms of those specific numbers here. So the call will be interesting to see if we can get some more of that color and more specific numbers on all of this. I'm still going. It's a long statement. So we're going to continue to pour through here.